What's up, nerds, and have I got a story for you? Now, also down below, you can read the articles that I've read to bring you this video, and you can read them for yourself, or you can just watch this video where I'm going to break them all down for you. Now, before I get started, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, so now that I got that business out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get started? All right, you guys, so I want to talk about this, and I've talked about this quite a bit, and I wanted to talk about this again, because Melissa Barrera, she has spoken out about her getting fired from Scream again. So why don't we just go ahead and pull up this article. And I'm not going to read through this article, but I'm going to break it down. Okay, so now I'll leave a link, like I said before, but this is a Hollywood Reporter, okay? So she spoke out, she did an interview, and she was trying to promote Abigail, her new movie, which I believe comes out this weekend. And so I want to just talk about this article because, and I'm going to be fair to Miss Barrera, okay? And I've said from before, and I'll say it right now, I do not think she should have been fired from Scream. Okay, if she was fired for her comments about the Israel Hamas war, I don't think that she should have been fired. I think that I'm a free speech absolutist. I think you should be able to say whatever you want within reason. You can't, break the law by threatening somebody. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that what she said, I listen, if she wants to say, hey, I support a terrorist organization, then fine, let her say it. I know that's her right as an American. She can say it. We have free speech. But she did get fired, and I don't feel bad for her. Like, that's just how it is. I don't feel bad for her, but I don't think she should have got fired. That's just the end of that, But, people are just like, oh, Scream, and nobody's going to go see it now. And I'm just like, whatever. So there are a couple of takeaways that I want to talk about from this. Now, she said that Spyglass, basically she said Spyglass lied and said that she was not warned before she was fired. Spyglass said that they warned her about her comments about the Israel-Palestine war or Hamas war, and then she said they did not warn her. Now, you know how the saying goes. When it comes to a story, there's your story, their story, and the truth. There's three sides to the story. Her side, their side, and the truth. So somewhere in the middle, there's got to be something going on. Now, do I think she's lying? I'm not going to sit here and say she's lying because but I mean, I do think that she's telling the story. I can't remember think of the word of that, but so I don't know if that's true or not. But if they did fire her and didn't warn her, so they don't owe her a warning. They don't owe her a warning. So I just go, why would they lie about that if they did? I mean, there had to be something going on, like maybe they talked to her and she didn't look at it as a warning. I'm not quite sure, but, maybe they were just like, hey, could you tone it down? And to them, that was their warning, and to her, that was not a warning. I don't know, but I think there is some middle ground there. Now, she also said that Radio Silence, the two dudes, what a dumb fucking name. I hate that name. Radio Silence, that they didn't exit the Scream 7 on their own, that basically that Spyglass booted them out. Now, do I think that this is true? Probably. But I don't think it was a bad mood because I have to be honest, that what was it, the fifth movie, the first movie she starred in, I didn't think it was that great. In fact, it's probably my least favorite out of all the Scream movies. So, I mean, I applaud them for trying, and they did, breathe life into the franchise, like back into the franchise, which, again, I will say thank you, but I still I thought that was the worst one out of the entire franchise. And that's my opinion. You can love it. I'm not judging you for that. I'm just saying that's my opinion. Now, that last one where they went to New York, that one was pretty good. I actually did like that one. I thought that the ending was really good with the Scream killer reveal. So, but you had to have that fifth one to have that sixth one. Now, the other two parts of this that I want to talk about that she mentioned was she said that Christopher Landon was basically screwed as well. She said she didn't know why he left or if he got fired. She just said she didn't know anything about that. But I have to just say right now, I think that because she said he had some great ideas. And I think that whatever ideas he had, it had to involve her, because I don't think Christopher Landon was that great of a director slash writer. I think that he's one of those people that if he didn't have his okay, that if he didn't have these two, if he didn't have her and Ortega in there, then he just couldn't do the movie. He was so constricted on what his story was and what characters he wanted that he couldn't do it without them. That's what I think. I just think that he's very talented, limited talent-wise. And I think that's why he left the project. And I do think that he left on his own. And when I read it, I felt that when she was saying like he was basically screwed, it was because he is just so limited talent-wise that he couldn't figure out a story without those two characters in it. And that I just go, that's sad, you know? The other two things that I thought was that when she talked about in there, and she went on this long diatribe about how, oh, I'm not treated right in Hollywood, and oh, we don't get opportunities and all this crap. And I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here with your nonsense. But she talked about pay disparity, and I'm all like, oh, here we go, pay disparity. Listen, you negotiate the price, and if you didn't negotiate a good price, that's on you and your representation, honey. But she did talk about pay disparity, and then they brought up Neve Campbell not being in the movie. And and that Ned Campbell had reached out to her and everything, and she didn't comment on it. She said she didn't want to talk about it or whatnot. I can't remember exactly what the phrase was. But I just want to talk about, oh, well, if you're talking about pay disparity and you really want to stand up for that, you stupid bitch, then you would have been like, I'm not going to make this movie without Neve Campbell. I'm not doing this movie. I'm not coming on set. So you need to figure it out. And then she could have done that. And you want to know why? Because Jennifer Lawrence did it with the Hunger Games, and I feel like she could have done that. But she didn't, because she doesn't really believe in it. She's just all talk, like most of these people. They're all talk with no action. You know, they've got no backbone, and she got fired, and I do believe that she's coping, and she's still sad over it. Like, she's like, ooh, I got fired. Listen, the next interview, she's going to bring it up again. It's just how it is. All right, and the last thing I want to talk about in this was she said that she would consider going back to the Scream franchise, which is very interesting to me, because the rumor was, or maybe Spyglass said that, I can't remember what it was. Well, let's just pretend it's a rumor. Now, the rumor was that they offered her to come back. They were like, once they saw the backlash and Landon left and everything, and they realized that they needed the two sisters in here, that they offered her, they were like, listen, we want you to come back. And she said no. She was like, no, I'm not going to come back. And I go, well, if you're willing to come back, then you should have went back when you had the opportunity. You know, now you don't have the opportunity. And I just go, listen, I personally, it's fine, because I have to be honest with you. She was my least favorite character in both those last two movies. So I don't mind it at all, but so, I mean, in being fair, again, I don't think she should have been fired. This interview I thought was at least decent. It put a perspective on the certain things that, that need to be said, but I'm not like 100% on her side. I mean, I disagree with her on her position on that, but at the same time, I do believe she should be able to have her opinion about this. But again, don't feel bad, and listen, you get what you fucking deserve. So, I guess you deserve this. Tell me, what do you guys think about all of this? How do you guys feel about this Melissa Barrera situation with her talking about her being fired from Scream? I mean, she's finally speaking out, which good for you. Speak your truth, all that nonsense. Although don't speak your truth. I don't need to hear your truth. I don't care. But we'll see. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe she'll go back to Scream and they can wrap up that whole thing. Because they said in this article that they wanted to do that Radio Silence wanted to do a trilogy with these two sisters, and I just go, all right, fine, do Scream 7 with the Neve Campbell, which there was April Fool's jokes that Scream 7 had gotten canceled, and people were on both sides of it, and then they were like, oh, it's April Fool's. But maybe this Scream 7 can be what Neve Campbell was doing while they were in New York. Maybe there's a Scream character during that. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I guess Patrick Dempsey is coming back, and Courtney Cox, so yay. But we'll see where they go from that. And maybe they can bring them back for Scream 8, and they were just in hiding for one movie, like Neve Campbell was in that, like Sydney Prescott was in that last movie, you know? But we'll see how this, and I'll probably continue to talk about it or whatnot. But let's see how this turns out. And I don't have anything against Melissa Barrera. I want good things for people. I am interested in seeing her Abigail movie. I don't think I'm going to be able to see it opening weekend, though. So, you know, but I am interested in seeing it, and I would see a movie that she's in if it looks good. If it doesn't look good, I don't want to see it, but if it looks good, I will see it. I don't care what her politics are. And the last thing I want to say about this is I don't understand, because she also talks about in that article, sorry, I'm talking about the article again, about how she basically, she has a platform. Why wouldn't she use that to speak out or whatnot? And I want to go back. There was a time when artists, when movie stars would not give their political opinions. You barely knew anything about them. The only thing you knew about them was what you saw on screen. And I think that was a better time for actors, because once you get a hint of what they think politically, you're like, I'm kind of turned off right now. I don't want to see a movie that you're in. And I think that, like, Tom Cruise is a great example of that, because you didn't really know anything about Tom Cruise until he went on Oprah and started jumping on the couch and talking about how he's in love and everything. And, you know, you got to see how crazy he is. He's loopy. And I think that was probably better for actors. But you know, listen, again, you know, I wish nothing but the best for most people. And, you know, listen, she shouldn't have got fired. I'll end it there. All right, you guys, tell me what you guys think about all of this. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys. You guys have a good week. Bye.